You're listening to After Action Report at savage.love.
After Action Report.
Welcome to After Action Report, where I interview people who've tried something super wild or new to them. This week I speak with Justin, a 21-year-old gay man who fearlessly dove headfirst into some pretty hardcore kinks. Have a listen to hear what he endured and how he felt about it. Joining me for this After Action Report, Justin. Hey, Justin, thank you for coming on the show.
Hey there. Thanks for having me.
So who are you? Give us a brief bio, no identifying details.
I'm 21. I'm a college student. I live on the West Coast. Yeah, and I'm recently getting freaky.
So what is the freaky thing that you wanted to try? What did you do that took you outside your comfort zone? What was the new experience?
I got flogged.
Okay, so flogging is kind of a varsity level kink. It's scary for a lot of people. You say you're only recently getting freaky. How much kink experience do you have? And how quickly did you get to flogging?
Well, I think I'm maybe 3 or 4 weeks deep into my kink experiences, and flogging happened around day 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you want to try this? Why flogging? Why getting flogged? I assume you got flogged. You didn't do the flogging.
Yes, I got flogged. I'd be worried if I was flogging someone. I recently discovered that I am a huge masochist, and the guy I've been playing with suggested it, and he seemed like he really enjoyed it, and I trusted his leadership, I guess, or his I'm good at following instructions, I guess. So I was ready, and at this point in my kink experience, I'm ready to just try it all. So it just seemed like a great way to really throw myself in.
So what other kink experiences were you having? It's also bondage. What is it that you're exploring? And are these things that you've always wanted to do? Or is this a sudden brand new interest in kink and S&M?
Yeah. So I've also been doing, like I said, a lot of masochists getting the shit beat out of me. And then also, of course, bondage, gags, sensory deprivation. And these are things I've always been interested in. I feel like as long as I can remember being sexual, I've been kinky. So I'm just now getting into it because I think I'm at a point in my life where I have a few weeks of free time, and I just was tired of waiting. I was tired of just watching kinky things happen. I just really, I know, I guess I just hit a boiling point.
So you were watching kinky things happen. I assume that means you were watching a lot of kink porn and jacking off to it. And then eventually you were like, why not me?
Yeah, exactly.
So who did you do this with? How did you find this person?
So do you know what recon is?
I do know what recon is. I've talked about recon on the show a bunch, mentioned it in my column a million times.
Okay, good. So that.
Well, for people out there who weren't taking notes and don't remember all the times I've talked about recon, what is recon and how did you find your way there?
So recon is an app, or I guess it's mainly a website or a forum where kinky gay people can find other kinky gay people to do freaky things with. That's my very inexperienced take on it. And I found it because there was a guy who does shibari bondage stuff. I've been following him for years, and he had his link to his recon in his bio. And that's how I discovered what it was.
And it was on recon where you met the person that you had your first flogging experience with.
Indeed.
So tell us about that night. Tell us about, or that day, whenever that happened. Tell us about the experience from soup to nuts. Tell us about it.
Okay. So this is my second time playing with this guy. So I get there. He has me, I get into his house, I get in his front door. I close it behind myself. I strip and I put on blindfold and handcuffs. And then I just sit there and wait. And then he comes downstairs. He leads me up to his little play space. And I think at that point he ties my hands up to a metal arch, and ties my ankles also to that arch. And so I'm able to move my torso a bit, but I'm affixed. And so he's like, I'm gonna flog you 100 times, and then gags me and then does it.
But you guys had talked about this in advance, right? He didn't just spring a flogging on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that would be a bad dom move. You're young, new to kink, relatively inexperienced. He didn't just go from 0 to 60 with you. You guys talked about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all strung up, spread eagle. And you've agreed to being flogged 100 times, and he gags you, and then
he he does it 100 times, and then he does it 100 more times.
Wait,
and
he doubled the number?
Yeah, so like he did 100 times, and then he was like, I'm gonna do it again.
But wait, he says, I'm gonna do it again, and you said yes, no, please don't, go ahead.
I was gagged. I mean, I said okay. I mean, and at this point, like, it's clear that I'm into it, you know? Like, my body is giving all signs of consent that are needed, I feel.
Okay.
So then after 200, he takes my gag out, and he says that we're going to play the number game. But the number game is like, he's thinking of a number. And if I say a number that is lower than his, he doubles his number, and that's how many times I get flogged. But if my number is higher, that's how many times I get flogged.
God, that's diabolical.
I mean, I loved it. I was living for it. Because then, like, I'm immediately like, what do I do? Like, how do I minimize my pain? But I also like the idea that I sort of have agency, but don't really. So I say 100 because, I'm playing it safe. And then we go 100 more. And then we play the number game again after that. And at this point, like, by the time, like, the first 200, I was like once he got to the end, I was like kind of hurting, and I was like, ooh, ah. But like, at the end of 300, I was like, wow, can I do more? And then we play the number game again, and then I say 100 again, because like I know that he's gonna do some fucked up shit if I don't just like go balls to the wall. I was honestly worried that he was gonna do like 102 or something, and so then I would have been fucked. But so then, okay, so we're at 300 in, and then I do 100 more. So then I get flogged 400 times. And then after that, he stopped.
Okay, you get to the end of your first flogging, and you go for 400.
Mm-hmm.
You get to 400 gradually, and that's a big number. That's something that a lot of people who are very experienced with BDSM and impact play might be afraid of that number. And that was your first experience with impact play?
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, the flogging device he was using was softer.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So was it a good experience or a bad experience?
It was really good. I really want to do it again. I just love that, like, knowing that he was going like full force. Like, I could just like tell that he was like putting his whole body into like that whip. And I also left marks, which were fun because like for a couple of days after, like, I would like send him pictures of it, and it's just like they don't like the marks themselves don't hurt that much. It's fun to like look at and like be reminded of like what I did.
So for people out there who don't do BDSM and aren't curious about it, could you describe the emotional dynamic at that moment? Like, this guy, you've already played once, you have some rapport,
Mm-hmm.
he beats the shit out of you, flogs you 400 times. Like, what's the back and forth between you two? Is it affection? Is it brutality? Is it like encouragement? Like, what's the vibe, I guess, is what I'm asking. You're 21 years old. That's a word you people use.
Yeah.
What's the vibe between this person who's torturing you and you, the object being tortured?
In the moment, the vibe is like a mix of, I wouldn't say it's brutal, but I know that I have to go through whatever he chooses. And like, obviously there's always a way out. I can always stop things, but like, I don't want to. And so it's partially encouraging because it's like whenever when we were at 300 and I said I wanted to do 100 more, he was clearly very happy about that. And like, that got me going too, because I was like happy to be doing that for him. So there is like a level, yeah. There's a certain level of affection there.
So somebody else wanders into the room and they see what's going on. If he left the front door of his house open by accident, they wouldn't necessarily read like, oh, this is affection. But
no.
You experienced it as a kind of affection.
Yeah.
All right. So good experience or bad?
Good.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
Would you do anything differently?
There was one thing, and I did tell him this. He would hit me in like ranges of 25. So it'd always be like 25 in the front, 25 in the back, 25 in the back again, 25 in the front. And like, I was keeping count the whole time. So I could always kind of like, I could predict a little bit of like when things would happen and where. So that's the only thing I would do differently. But otherwise, I mean, I've already made plans.
Or you would have him do differently.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, so there's not much I can do differently.
So you're going to play with this guy again. You're going to get flogged by this guy again. And you communicated to him that you want him to make it not so easy to track?
Yeah. And next time we're planning on doing 500.
All right. So any tips for people out there, young gay men or other people who are interested in kink and BDSM, who want to try it for the first time, or anybody who wants to get flogged or curious about getting flogged? Any tips, from your recent experience with this new thing, stepping outside your comfort zone, jumping into really interested in kink since you became interested in sex really since puberty, probably one of those guys who's tying himself up when he was 12. I talk about that on the show. You're finally doing it. Sounds like you jumped right into the deep end of the pool. Any tips for other people out there who might want to jump in?
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably one of the least qualified people to be giving advice at this moment, but I think finding someone, if you're new to kink, especially like if you're like a young gay man looking to get into kink, find someone that you can like make a connection with and like know on like a personal level that can sort of guide you through kink as an experience. Because like this guy that did flog me and I've been playing with has been just a great resource for me to like understand what's safe and what I should do. And then for flogging, just make sure that you like being hurt before you do it.
Yeah. Be horrible to find out 200 in that actually pain isn't something that you enjoy. Did you get off in this scene? Did you come?
Maybe, I don't know. We had multiple scenes that day, so I definitely got off at least twice that night. But I'm not sure if it was exactly after flogging.
There's something I want to stick a pin in here because, here you are, 21-year-old young gay man interested in kink, playing for the first time really, and the person you're playing with, who clearly enjoyed hurting you, also enjoyed giving you advice. Sounds like they're also mentoring you a little bit. So it's not just you didn't find some monster who beat the shit out of you and threw you out, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the misconceptions people have about kink is that the doms or the tops don't care about the bottoms or the subs. But it sounds like, at least in your experience so far, which is limited, that hasn't been the case. Yeah. And I mean, I think it goes back to the idea that like the sub is always the one that's in control in a way because they're the one that is allowing these things to happen to them. So yeah, and like that relationship is unique because it is partially like a mentorship. Yeah, it's a two-way street. Justin, thank you so much for coming on After Action Report. You may be our youngest guest ever. I hope your continued explorations into kink and BDSM are as positive. They continue to be as positive as it sounds like your very earliest experiences. This is all new to you, and it sounds like it's been good.
Yeah, it's been great.
Justin, thank you for coming on After Action Report. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Justin, you brave, kinky boy. If you have a story about a first-time sexual adventure, a new experience, email us at q@savage.love. Put After Action Report in the subject line, and we just might contact you to be on the next After Action Report. Thank you for listening, and get out there and try something new.
After Action Report.